Welcome back to the 40 Plus Life podcast. Today, I'm thrilled to introduce a woman who wears many hats: makeup artist, self-proclaimed accidental influencer, and advocate for women.
So
Natasha Bulstrode, or Tash as many know her, has spent years helping women see their beauty, confidence, and strength through makeup masterclasses, face yoga, and authentic conversations. Through chapter 5, Tash creates a space where beauty goes beyond the surface. It's about self-belief, personal growth, embracing life's next chapter, and supporting women as they navigate their own journeys. Tash, welcome to the 40 Plus Life podcast.
Introduction, that's so great.
I love it when I get to do a little deep dive on what people are about and what they're doing, and just see that they've got, I know, so many exciting things going on. Tash, it's a thrill to have you on the 40 Plus Life podcast. Tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got into makeup.
Okay, very, very briefly. I mean, we could go on for hours, but we'll do 10 minutes on my makeup career because, I was very, very creative as a young child. So I did lots of watercolor, lots of drawing. I was very whimsy, and I genuinely think I probably a bit neurodivergent. But I've never been diagnosed, and probably best I don't. Do you know what I mean? No news is good news on that one. But I was very, very sensitive and very creative. I had a wonderful grandmother that taught me how to draw. And then I went to London College of Fashion. From art school, I went to Foundation Art School down here, which was called Shelley Park. And then I was going to study photography actually down in Bournemouth. But I ended up with a big grief situation happening when I was 18. So I ended up kind of traveling up to London and pretending to be a model, which I was hideous at because it was the kind of wharf era. And I was just very, very, very athletic and very tall with big tits. And so I just didn't fit the mold at all. So I ended up kind of going back to college up in London. And so I went to London College of Fashion.
Wow, I'm exciting to have been at the London College of Fashion.
Yeah.
It must have been such a buzz.
It was a buzz, and it was a proper 3-year course. But while I was doing that, I was also working on a counter for benefit. God, I mean, I graduated in 1994, so it was the real 90s era, and I met Charlotte Tilbury on the street in Ladbroke Grove where she lived. God knows how. Maybe we were at a party. I met a lot of people at raves.
I feel like there's going to be some good stories.
I met my friend Jodie Kidd at a rave under an arch in Vauxhall. So that's how I met her, because 1992 was when I was 18, and so that kind of hit the kind of the probably the best musical era of my lifetime. And so it was a lot of creativity. There was a lot of the kind of Saatchi art, all that art system was happening, all that kind of cool art, the Tracy Emin's and everything else. So it was a very exciting time to be in London. And I just got very lucky with Charlotte because she was an amazing mentor. Yeah. And I met my ex, who I have a son with, at Charlotte's wedding in Ibiza. Can you imagine?
I can imagine. I bet it's even better than I can imagine.
It's even better. It was one of the best weddings I've ever been to, because she ended up, it was her first husband, she married one of my friends, and so it was this very crazy, but I am a huge staunch supporter of Charlotte's. I think she gets a lot of rubbish, and she was an incredible mentor, and what a powerhouse of incredible products. It supports so many young makeup artists. God knows how many makeup artists she employs within her shops. I think she's just got she had an MBE or a CBE or something. She's just been given another award by the King, and so she goddamn deserves it.
It's so nice to hear you speaking so highly.
I'm passionately I'm a passionate supporter of Charlotte's. I think she's done huge amounts for the makeup industry, and I think she's magic. And I wouldn't know how to do the kind of makeup I can do without her. I think also in this country, we have a wonderful, I don't know where it comes from, this kind of rotten tomatoes behavior where we have to tear women that want to elevate themselves down. The tall poppy syndrome of, I'm just going to really cut that woman down. She's too fabulous. She's too tall. She's too mouthy.
She's doing too much. She's putting herself out there. And I think it's a projection from some women, not all women, and men as well, that it's too much to see a woman being too successful for some people, which is so upsetting, really. We should be completely lifting up everyone around us that's trying to do something different.
I think there's a systemic patriarchy where you've been told for a very long time, you shut up and keep small. because if you don't, there'll be consequences, young lady.
Yeah.
You know, the whole, as I said to you before, it's like Michael Winner, calm down, girl. Don't get above your station. This is patriarchic systems in place, and you are safer within the patriarchy. If you put your head above the parapet, you're going to get real trouble.
Yeah.
There are real emotional, financial consequences if you don't fall back in line. It's I won't even go into the manosphere thing, but it's the whole thing of getting people in a kind of, if everyone is in line and shuts up. But the thing about midlife women, which is what chapter 5 was about, is more to do with really owning your own responses to that kind of behavior, but then also really listening to your intuitiveness about people, places, things, and where you are valuable, you are worth it, and you are allowed to be here. Just because a system says you're not, or a man says you're not, or a woman that's been taught to stay small says you're not, it's utter BS. It's a lie.
It really is.
You've been taught a lie. And so I really, with chapter 5, was my sole intention is to get people to wake up and realize you are valuable and you are worth it.
And you are allowed to take up space, and you are allowed to, if you want to be loud, you can be loud. If you want to be, I don't know, extrovert and fabulous, if you want to be quiet and steady, you can be whatever you want to be, and no one should be telling you should be one way or the other. And it's a lot to not unpack, it's a lot to untangle, because as you say, it's systematic. It is not even just years, it is decades and decades. And it's since the dawn of time.
So is it 400 years ago they were burning a whole load of witches, because they were herbalists, they were midwives, they were touchstone, they were the matriarch. Christianity came in, and that's where it all went to rubbish, actually. But chapter 5 started with a makeup thing, because I was in the fashion industry for 30 years, having been a wonderful career flying around the world, doing lots of really exciting and fun things. I worked with Maybelline for 6 years in Berlin. I lived in New York. I've assisted some of the best makeup artists in the world, and also worked, as a main makeup artist on shows and various other things. So it was a really interesting, creative, nourishing career, but it was also really hard work, and you had to really want to do it. Young makeup artists, and now with the dawn age of social media or anything else, every man and his dog is a really good makeup artist. With that comes this weird, it's less about art and more about the narcissistic element of beauty now. The best makeup artists are artists. Don't get me wrong, I think Charlotte's cashed in on that and done very, very well, because it's about products now, and it's about marketing products, and how many products can we all use, and rather than actually going, hang on, I really want to fit my own amazing way of how I present myself, and I want it to be beautiful red lipstick. This is how I want it to be. This is my identity. This is something, like mods and rockers and subcultures, surfers, they become a tribe within themselves because they love representing the sea or motorbikes, or they are part of something. They're part of a movement. Whereas now, this kind of identikit, everyone has to look the same. Everyone's got to have Botox. Everyone's got to have lip fillers or their nose is done. So the flex now, I think, is that actually not having anything done. And I have definitely not having anything done, not having your nose done, like really being totally authentic to your true self is the real flex now, where you almost are kind of going, I don't excuse me.
Be unique. I think that's the thing. I see these posts sometimes actually on Instagram where you see a before and after of a nose job, and you look at them and you go, oh gosh, your face was so interesting. It was so memorable. I would remember your face. I am going to remember your face, and I'm actually going to remember your old face more than the work you've had done. And look, this isn't to judge anyone that's had that nose job, but I think some of it does come from societal pressure, particularly because we're talking about noses. Sometimes it's a nose that really may be common within your culture, and I think, gosh, it's so beautiful because of that. And what are you conforming to? Is it you trying to get that cookie cutter American look? And it's such a shame when my husband and I were in a local pub a little while ago, and a group of girls walked in, and it was like the same girl walked in 6 times. And we both went, that was weird. Same sort of outfit, same hair, all with the same plump lips, the same eyebrows. And I get it. It's a fashion. I just want people to embrace their unique beauty. And again, it's tough. It's tough to have this conversation without sounding judgmental, but I would love it if people's faces were different.
I think it's, again, we're coming from a place of wanting to fit in and belong. Ultimately, as a human, we want to belong, and to run to run against the slipstream is really difficult. I've been at the raw end of that, and also, if someone wants to really tear you down, you're doing something right. As I'm saying, it's like there's a real honor in being disliked and having the courage to be disliked and go, you know what, this is who I am. This is what I'm about. Within a safety zone, and if you don't like it, that's okay.
Yeah,
I'm cool.
If I'm not for you, that's
I'm
fine.
not for you, that's fine.
Yeah.
And if you need to continue to tear me down, there's something going on there within your character.
It was this Susie says about Sadie, says more of Sudi than of Sadie. I can't remember exactly what the wording is. Yeah,
but this is it. And it's like that happens in small towns as well, doesn't it? So it's like the world at the moment, because of social media, is a really small town. And we're all being kind of fed this algorithmic AI thing. It's darkness, actually. It's like you can't, I want you to turn away from God or faith or nature or whatever is you've been given. And then I want you to just look like this and be this perfect young, it's that whole youth thing. And that's where this whole thing where suddenly celebrities are getting thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner. And the same thing happened in the war era in the 90s. When women start rising and going, hang on a minute, this is crazy.
There is so much to discuss about makeup and women and their outer appearance, and feminism comes in and empowerment comes in, and it can be all of those things. And I think people think that makeup can be frivolous and that beauty is frivolous and it's, I don't know, time wasting. But it is so much more for women's confidence and what it can do for us. And there's so many angles to come at when we're talking about makeup.
I could do a PhD on makeup and how important. When my brother died, my brother was 15 and he died. And my mother, there was two things that saved my mother's life, which is a very strange thing to say. One, the dog, because she had to get up every morning and she had to walk the dog. And it was the only thing that got her out of bed. And I know this sounds very weird, but the second thing was also a lipstick. It was a little lipstick and she had a really beautiful little case and it was in her handbag. And it was like, I'm going to put on some red lipstick today and I'm going to just keep going. It's that whole action. It's the action. And I've had this moment as well where I'm currently going through, a divorce. And it's like there's been like at least a whole year of just wearing sweats and no makeup and not really caring, putting on weight and just going, because it's a long journey.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do this. I don't want to do this. But it's like that whole action of right, I've got to get back in. I've got to start wearing a dress. I've got to put a little bit of makeup on. I've got to elevate myself. If I go to a post office or I go to the supermarket, I see someone, I at least representing myself in a way that is respectful.
I think there's an interesting change at this age. Now I'm 46, and what is important to me in terms of how I look and how I present myself has changed so much. And, when I was younger, I was so worried, always so worried about whatever anyone would think of me. And I think I'm getting to that point where I am feeling that less. I am much more comfortable in my own skin. I'm not trying to mask myself in the way I do my makeup, for example. It is just about enhancing, looking fresher. And if you want to go full contour, thick makeup, then that, you do you. We've all got our own look that we want to achieve. But it's changed so much for me now at this age. Have you found that? Obviously, as a makeup artist, you'll have done all the different looks and creations that you can achieve editorially or on someone's face for, I know, for them going to a party or whatever. But have you really found that that's changed for you personally?
I think it's a really good question. I love the fact that you can still experiment, and actually the movement with my young makeup artists who I sometimes assist me and who I'm lucky to still be in contact with, who give me loads of ideas, and we have real interesting conversations about makeup, and I can get really nerdy with it. And I love doing really intricate, heavy, cool, artistic makeup. That really interests me. But from a day-to-day thing, for me, it's enhancing my skin and doing pops of color, or less is more. And but it's also again about eating really healthily, moving my body.
Yeah.
So it's in more, as I've got older, it's more embodied. And also because of my people-pleasing hormones have just kind of fallen away, I'm embodying myself a lot more because I know myself better. I know how much sleep I need. I know how I want to, but the adornment is lovely. And I love to kind of, I call it the high-low. I love to kind of have a beautiful night out, wear a really beautiful dress, really kind of gear my makeup up. And, that's beautiful. But day to day, it's more to do with the element of health and well-being, and also being really mindful of what I put on my face. I have vitiligo on my on autoimmune disease, so what I put on my skin, my organ, which is like the skin is the biggest organ we have, I'm really careful. I don't necessarily agree with the Korean skincare.
Is that because it's layering so many products?
It's really compromising your lipid barrier. It's really, it's stripping it down. It's not nourishing it. It's a quick fix. It's like doing a 28 juice cleanse to get yourself ready for a bikini time. And you look great and you will look good in the bikini, but you'll just put all the weight back on, and it won't work, and you won't get the proper fiber or the nutrients that you properly need. But it's like a quick fix. It's like, so you have that smooth, perfect open face. And again,
glass skin.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm not judging those people that want to get those quick fixes either. I'm a huge fan of Dolly Parton. Dolly has had everything done under the sun, everything done under the sun, but it doesn't take away her authenticity. I'm not in any way sitting there on a plinth going, you shouldn't, if I think you should do whatever the hell you want in life, if it makes you personally feel fabulous. But it's not coming from a place of fear, patriarchy, or because, you think everyone else is a fear of being too old and you're not valuable anymore. It's a fear or love. It's those two elements of, Dolly genuinely loves herself. She thinks she's really cool. She's worked really hard, written 4,000 songs or whatever. And I have all 47 albums or more, including the Christian ones. And you kind of go, you know what? And she's never been non-verbal about her work, which I adore. And it's like, if we're all honest and authentic and say, you know what? I've had a facelift and I look great.
Exactly. She has never been anything other than who she is and has been completely honest. She's one of, again, my sister and I discuss her quite a lot because we're huge Dolly fans as well.
Brilliant.
And she is one of the most diplomatic people who has managed to stay, if you look at American politics, the Republicans think they own her, but the Democrats and liberals, they think they own her too, as the LGBTQ. She's their queen, but she's also still queen of that sort of Republican mentality as well. And it's like, how has she done it? But when you hear the nuances and the things that she says and the way that she shows her support is so clever without taking anyone down. She's the ultimate sort of girl's girl that knows how to lift, and again does not criticize anyone, yet says so much without saying it. It's in between the lines. She's a genius.
She's actually genius. I think she is a genius because she's managed to she's always been a massive, well, almost kind of like a mentor. I will say, I'd love to have. Alice said to me in the car the other day, if you were going to meet anyone, who would it be? I know her makeup artist, so I know he was called Paul Starr. I would adore to do her makeup, but like, that's the thing. It's like that you can be whatever you wish it to be, but make it authentically true to you. I think that's the kind of crux of what I'm trying to say.
I do want to get some tips from you for our listener for that, 40 plus and beyond.
I do believe that you should change your makeup every decade. So I genuinely, because every decade you're going to have different needs and also different hormone imbalances as well. I definitely would start wearing an eye cream and prepping your skin really well prior to putting your makeup on. It's a bit like prepping a wall before you paint it. It's like when we can prep our skin, and that means properly cleansing it, exfoliating it at least twice a week, doing a lovely, collagen mask. A lot of people think collagen snake oil. I don't agree. Every time I've taken collagen, it's really worked for me. I have always seen a massive difference whenever I've taken collagen. My nails, my skin, my hair.
Yeah.
I would take, I know it sounds weird, but I take eye drops. My eyesight since COVID actually has got really quite bad. And I'm 52 now. I'm 52 in July. And so I take some dry eye drops. So for dry eyes, which really happens because apparently everything dries, I've noticed that my skin,
perimenopause,
my body has got really dry and itchy. Like my back has got really itchy. So I started using a glycolic, like a proper body wash, which is basically sloughs off all the dead skin cells in the shower. And I would highly recommend getting a really good glycolic. I also would get a really good One Skin do a great body lotion. Like you literally come out of the shower, either coat yourself in a beautiful body oil or a body wash and really properly take care of your body. And that has made a massive difference as well. Loads and loads of really good nourishing moisturizers I've found that has made a massive difference. Yes, and a dry eye drops, which you can get from opticians, makes a massive difference because if you're in the wind or the rain when it will come, your eyes stream, or if you have to put eye makeup on and your eyes are really streaming, you really want to kind of get on top of that.
It's all about hydration, isn't it? It's hydrated skin and hydrated looking eyes, and everything will look well and glossy. And that's just about your skin. It's not even about covering it in makeup. I mean, I'm with you on the skin prep because I think that I now wear less makeup. I wear less foundation. I wear less concealer. I just dab it where I desperately need it. Like the darkness under the eyes is just a little bit there. I'm more about a little bit of highlighter, not the super shiny, sparkly, but just a glowy look. I want cream blushes and dewiness. I've seen a lot of have you tried a lot of the new watercolor blushes and bronzers?
Yeah.
They just leave your skin looking so dewy, and it is a game changer, I think.
Yeah, Lisa Eldridge has done some really good ones. Victoria Beckham's just launched a whole load of new ones. Merit, great.
Tell me a little bit about face yoga then. Are you doing it every day?
So I used to do a class at Sue Studio, but I just stopped it for the summer because summer I've got kids and everyone else. But I'm going to be doing it a lot more online, and it'll be through Chapter 5.
Okay,
and then,
so we'll keep an eye on.
Yeah,
your
and
website
I'll send it to you when I do it. So it's kind of like going to do 10 minutes a day online, and I'll probably start at the beginning of July, where I can send everyone a link, and if they want to join me every day while over the summer, they're very welcome to do that. It's going to be easier for me to do it online over the summer. I have 2 children, and so I still have to kind of be a bit more flexible within my work. But I really enjoy it, and I have done less Botox. I have since doing it, and I don't know whether I'll ever go back to Botox. I will never say never. I won't. I had a brilliant midwife, and she said, "My body, my baby, my birth. It's my face,
right?
And I'll do what I want with my face, and I'm not going to be ashamed." I've got clients that have had everything done, and they look fabulous. I've had clients that have had nothing done, and they look fabulous. It's the same thing for everyone. It's like I used to get Botox actually in my nose. So because I have my dad's nose, and I'm really like, oh, but everyone's like, I love your nose. You've got a great nose. Yeah. But I've always been very aware that my mother was eye-wateringly beautiful, and my dad not as much. And so everyone goes, wow, you look just like your dad. Don't you?
I totally get it. But it is impossible for someone else to be able to say, no, you don't see how beautiful you are. Your face is gorgeous, Tash.
But that's also the thing. Like, you are conditioned to think, I should be like my mum, or I should be, I shouldn't be and a mix or an amalgamation of them both. And so I suppose that's what anyway.
Tash, the 40 plus life tagline is taking on midlife with style. So for you, what does style mean to you? So obviously we've touched on makeup and empowerment, but when it comes to fashion or styling out your life, you mentioned that you spent a lot of time in your tracksuit phase when you were going through one of your lowest points. How has style now, I don't know, found its way back for you?
I think the first thing that comes to mind when you say that is color.
Mm,
Like, so when I'm wearing color or I've got something yellow on or red lipstick, I feel mostly myself.
right.
You know, I think that that's what makes me feel akin or connected to myself and my style. I
Mm,
haven't quite found my personal dress style. I'd actually love a stylist. I'd love someone to just, I'm going to do it next year where I'm going to pay someone to come into my wardrobe and go, okay, let's sort you
mm,
out. I think that would be a really beautiful process to do that. As
yeah.
again, in my 50s, where I just go, okay, enough kind of trying to throw things together. Let's get someone that really wants to work on, your stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Sometimes you need someone to come and look at your wardrobe and help you see what your consistent pieces are and realize, oh yeah, no, those are the pieces I'm always drawn to. Those are the pieces that make me feel confident. And sometimes it's just a case of like you've loved a jacket, but you don't know what to wear it with. You just need someone to go, you need this shape to go with that jacket on your bottom half. And then you go, oh yeah, that was the missing piece. And sometimes you can't see the wood for the trees when you've got too much in there. And actually it's already there. Your style is probably in your wardrobe. You just don't know it yet.
Yeah, I agree. I think so.
Yeah.
And it's the same with, I say with my clients, like they go, I don't know what my makeup thing is, or I don't know what my
Mm,
lipstick should be. And I say, open your wardrobe. Let's have a look at
yeah.
what you've got in there. Because actually, women are really much more intuitive and much more aligned with themselves than they think. And it's like giving them
Right.
the opportunity to go, look, I can teach you some techniques, show me what you've already got.
Mm,
So it's empowering women rather than taking something away from them. It's like, really giving them the empowerment of themselves to then, that's what I think that's the main thing. Really empower people to be
yeah.
themselves.
Agreed.
Mm.
Well, we're going to play a game of this or that. So you've got to make your choices between what I'm going to give you here. So makeup brush or beauty blender,
Ooh, I'd go makeup brush.
red lipstick or nude.
Oh, red.
Always,
Yeah.
always. Are you an early morning ritual or late night self-care?
No, I'm early morning ritual.
Classic elegance or playful whimsy?
Ah,
I feel like you're a bit
that's
of
a
both.
real tricky one for me. I would go classic elegance over whimsy initially. Yeah,
A silk scarf or statement earrings?
silk scarf,
Vintage treasures or modern luxury?
vintage treasures.
Oh, hosting dinner parties or attending them?
Oh, I'd love to be invited to more dinner parties actually, but I would. I love a dinner party, but I like hosting them as well. I love cooking.
Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it.
Me too. And,
Yeah,
and I hardly, we never do dinner parties, but I love them.
yeah.
And I love hosting, I love cooking. I will have a dinner party. I will have you round
Thank
for a
you,
dinner
babe. I would love to be.
party.
You know what? I'd love to be invited to more dinner parties with different people
Yes.
as well, like people I don't know,
Yeah.
and and definitely going to do more dinner parties next year.
Would you like to be remembered more for your beauty advice or impact on women's
Oh,
confidence?
impact on women's confidence, 100%.
I thought that'd be
Yeah,
the
yeah, sorry.
answer. Absolutely. Now, before we wrap up, I always like my guest to leave a recommendation for our listener, something that you're loving right now. Could be anything, something that, I don't know, puts a smile on your face each day.
Ooh, well, I mean, again, if it's in line with empowerment and stories, I think it's like women's stories and their truth. By the way, I make that very, very
Mm.
clear. Someone says something doesn't mean it's just a story. It's their truth. But at the moment, I'm reading this brilliant book by Belle Burden, and I'm going to do something on my Instagram about it today. And it's a true story, and it's called Strangers, and it's how she basically was in the pandemic, and her husband just came to her. But
Mm.
basically, it's about a marriage breakdown, and it's a true story. And there's been
Mm.
lots of controversy about it because she came from a financially wealthy, privileged place. She was from part of the Vanderbilt family in America, which is huge. It's like the Rothschilds. And I think the Daily Drivel did some piece on it, and also the Independent, and then the New Yorker did something about it. But what I love about it is it gets people talking and of being aware of what financial abuse and betrayal looks and smells like. And that can be across the party of socioeconomically. You can, I think, with anything with domestic abuse or any abuse in itself, people kind of have these pigeonholed ideas of what it is meant to look like, whether it be, domestic abuse or something. If it gets getting heavy, it should be in a low income area and you should be, very badly physically hurt. But I really love this because I love books that start awareness and conversations, and your opinion on something is being challenged. And that is my summer book recommendation, because read it and tell me what I devoured it within a day. It's interesting because it has brought a lot of people's heckles up. I've gone, well, she's fine because, she's got money, so she's fine. What was she, so that really, interests me. I'm interested in.
Really interesting. Oh, I like the sound of that. So I'll be adding that to my list as well. Tash, I could talk to you for hours, but we haven't got long enough today. But we shall, maybe we might have to come back and pick at some of those threads another time. But thank you so much for joining me on the 40 Plus Live podcast. And to everyone that, if you want to find out more about Natasha, you can follow her on Instagram and her website, which is Chapter 5, which I'll put all the links in the show notes so people can find you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I've really loved it. Honestly, I love a chat.
Yeah, love a chat
so much.
too.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate you inviting me on. It's really kind. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. And for those of you listening, there'll be another episode of the 40 Plus Life podcast coming your way really, really soon.
Thank you. Bye.